Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, and welcome to What If Deku Was the Meta Part 2. Last we left off with the Meta walking away from his team that was beaten up. And before this starts, I just want to say that I only have 2 more days until I'm taking a long hiatus or a long break. So after tonight's video, this will be the last video for the next few months. Sorry guys, not my choice. The army takes a lot out of you, so if I don't see you guys in a few months, don't blame me. It's just a job. Anyways, we come back to as Meta was walking to his room, and he sits down as a little screen pops up in front of him. And it's the leader of the freelancing agency. And he said to him, "Agent Meta, you hurt your team pretty bad, which they must have set you off somehow. Can't blame you. But I need you to go on a mission for me to steal a container of weapons for me." You grunt, and then you just get up and walk to your locker. You grab your brute shot, your pistol, and the shotgun, as well as the knife. And you walk out of the room. You walk into his office to see if there's going to be anyone else there. And it was just you and 3 others. They all walked up to you to greet themselves, and you just shook their hand and grunted. They all asked what's up, and the leader just said not to ask, because last time his team almost got killed. Anyways, the briefing of this mission is pretty simple. Break into the building, steal the materials, and get away and come back to the base. A Pelican will come to pick you up at the LZ. All you need to do is just get the materials done. They all agreed, except for Meta. He wanted to do this on his own to show himself. So as they were walking over to the Warthog so they can just drive, this one doesn't have a turret on it, by the way, it's just normal Warthog. And they all got in it. Meta was angry because he had to sit in the back, but yet he was having fun because he can just sit there and throw stuff at people that are behind him. So they get in a parking lot of the building, and they decide to hide in an alleyway and wait for the shipment to get in there. As they're sitting there, they're all just talking, and they're just waiting until Deku had enough and he decided to scale the building with his knife and his bare hands, sticking his hands into the wall, leaving hand marks as well as knife marks. Everyone was surprised to see what you were doing, but they kinda had to follow you anyways. Once you got to the roof after climbing, the rest of the team just mimicked your exact prints by sticking their knife in the wall and putting their hands in the exact place as you, and just boosting themselves up. They would then ask where they would all think of where the materials would be until you stand in the middle of the roof and punch a hole in it, and just dropping down to the floor through the roof. As all the stuff was in there, you look through, and the voices say, "The box to the right, open the box to the right. He's in there. Have him join us." As Deku walked over and opened it, there was a weird thing in there. He took it out, and there was a little chip in the slot already. He took the chip out and put it in his helmet. The AI then turned on. Alpha. He reeled in pain and started screaming. Everyone walked over to you to see if you're alright, but then you just stood up and grabbed the thing that was in the box and threw it on your back. It's an AI collector. They all welcomed Alpha, as then they would grab the materials they needed and jump out the window, landing on a semi-truck. Someone jumped out going the other way to get the Warthog so they can drive off, His Meta would fight off everyone. A guy would push him down to the ground, shooting him 8 times in the neck. Thinking that Meta was dead, he would just get up and then just punch his head off. The team would watch this as the Warthog came up behind him and he would just jaw jump in, but as soon as Meta was about to jump in, he threw the materials onto the Warthog and then would blast the, I forgot the name of it already. Give me like 1 second, hang on, I gotta look at it. Bruce shot. He shot the Bruce shot at the ground, making the tires pop and the truck swerve. And this was the start of your freelance journey. About 10 minutes after the crash, emergency services were showing up, but you were just standing there, right in the middle of the fire. You were just standing there looking around. Oh. Then you see the emergency services show up, so you run to the edge of the bridge and jump off onto the nearest building. As you're just jumping from building to building, heroes are following you. As you spin around and shoot the brute shot at him, thinking that this will distract them. Which it did, but they still came at you. So you put the brute shot on your back and grab out your knife and pistol and you run at them. Stabbing heroes in the chest, arms, and legs to disable them, as well as shoot some that got on your nerves. After the big fight was done, All Might would jump down in front of you as you're both in the street facing off. This is still All Might in his prime, so he's very strong. But remember, this is the meta. He has more fighting combat experience. So they would just face off, sitting next to each other, or standing at each other, as they would rush at each other. No one getting the upper hand, Meta being punched back multiple times by the air gust, as All Might would be hit in multiple places by a knife, as well as being critically hit by the punches, as this fight would go on for hours. All Might would then ask in the middle of the battle, "Why are you doing this, Meta? Why?" As an AI would pop out and say, "He's doing this to make us whole." As all the other 7 AI would pop out, "He's trying to complete us all, make us one." As he was taken a little bit aback by this, he hesitated in one of his punches, and that gave Meta the boost he needed to punch All Might straight in the gut as hard as he can, sending him flying, as the Meta would just use his cloak ability and disappear. Over the next few months, years, the Meta would always try and find his way to get what he needed. He was always trying to find AI. He couldn't find him, so if he couldn't find him, he would make him. He would grab out the AI maker that he had on his back, or the AI grabber, would hook it up to a computer, and would see what it can do, looking over all the things it could do. And he thought to himself, what if I could get one of my teammates and shove their thought processes and consciousness into this thing? Could I get a good AI? The others in his head said, yes. The one you need to get is Washington. And that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope you guys enjoy. Cliffhanger, I know. This is the only video coming out tonight. Sorry, guys. No Q&A, no extra video, no nothing. Sorry. Sorry I didn't make the What If He Say Was Betray video. I was thinking of doing that tonight. I may do it tomorrow if I feel like it, as well as a couple other videos before Sunday hits. Once Sunday hits, no video comes out. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.